Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different because there's been a lot of turmoil going on, and people keep saying you have to have more empathy. But the interesting thing about empathy, which is the capacity to understand or feel what another person is experiencing from within their frame of reference, that is the capacity to place oneself in another's position, is inherently internally facing. Again, when you have empathy, it's really about what you have and what you want to feel. And when people talk about having empathy, a lot of times it just falls into virtue signaling, which doesn't really help the other person with their problem or with their situation. I would suggest that we do something a little bit more active and have rapport with that person, which is really about communicating on the same wavelength with the other person, because when you do that, you can really zero in exactly on how to help the other person. So when you're communicating on the same wavelength, you can do it either, communicating with them visually, things that you see you're seeing things from the same perspective as they do. It can be auditorially or for the way you use your words, the types of words you use, and the same speed of speech that you use. And it could be kinesthetic, things you feel when you're around another person and you're comfortable. An example would be high-level athletes playing as a team where they just seem to know what their teammate is going to do. While rapport has elements of empathy, they're not the same. Empathy is about understanding and feeling. Rapport is about communication. And it's the master key to being able to communicate at more than a superficial level. And it has nothing to do with liking each other. Rapport is ultimately a demonstration of empathy rather than just understanding and feeling what another person is experiencing. How often have we seen and heard politicians saying, "I feel your pain"? Do we really believe them just because they say it? When you demonstrate that you're communicating on the same wavelength, it's like you're speaking the same language. And the more fluent you are in that language, the deeper communication you have. That doesn't mean that an element of liking can, can not develop there. It certainly can. An example of this can be found in boxing or MMA, where two fighters are squaring off and they tend to mirror each other's movements. These are not conscious reactions because they happen too quickly. But while they're punching and kicking each other, they're in rapport. And after the fight, the animosity they previously had generally disappears. And you see they hug each other, they say good fight. And that's because they've been communicating at a very high level. And that can lead to respect and even friendship. This is the same phenomenon you see among people in high-pressure situations, and camaraderie is another phenomenon of rapport. When people are working towards the same goal, and especially when they're doing it effectively, you can see the elements of rapport, especially when they're under pressure. So they'll be speaking the same way, they'll be moving the same way, they'll actually really be able to anticipate each other's moves. And so it's a phenomenon that's externally facing, that's something that you can certainly use in all different situations. And it's really important to understand how to gain rapport and then how to leverage rapport. So my next book will be covering the 7 levels of rapport and how to use them in influence and persuasion. So keep an eye out for more announcements. And I'm putting together my advanced review copy reader team. So if you would like to be on it, please contact me at james@jc2consulting.com and we'll connect. And please leave any comments or questions below. And for more information and resources, they can be found in the notes below and the links below, and on my website, jc2consulting.com. And my next book is actually going to be called Influential Rapport. So look out for that. And again, I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks very much, and look forward to the next video.